Presidential contender Marco Rubio is coming under some scrutiny for his personal finances. A recent New York Times article describes irresponsible spending and shoddy bookkeeping by the Florida senator.
Even Rubio's supporters are a little weary of his financial habits. This, according to the New York Times. They wonder how this will manifest if Rubio becomes president. Joining us now from Washington is John Heilemann, Bloomberg Politics managing editor. John, apparently these doubts about Rubio's financial management is not exactly new, because within that New York Times article, Mitt Romney considered Rubio as a potential running mate in 2012, but they looked into some of these issues and there were red flags all over the place.
That's true. Rubio was on the short list for Romney's vice presidential selection, but I'll say he was not ever really on the short list, at the very top of that short list. And I don't think that the financial issues were the reasons he didn't end up on the ticket. It is the case, though, that a lot of Republicans nationally and some in Florida have had concerns about this. They've been waiting for a story of this kind to break for a while. And now it's here. It's a sign that Marco Rubio's being taken seriously as a potential Republican nominee when he's starting to finally get some of the tough scrutiny that candidates in the first tier get.
Does this sort of have a trickle-down effect, John? I mean, Oracle CEO Larry Ellison is hosting a fundraiser for Rubio tonight in his mansion in California. Does this kind of press deter such fundraisers and any kind of money donation going forward?
Well, I don't think one story in the New York Times is going to scare anybody off who's inclined to give money to Marco Rubio. But there's no doubt that if this is the beginning of a series of articles and stories that deal with Rubio in a skeptical way related to his past in Florida, that could be problematic. At the moment, though, one big story like this one's going to leave some bruises, but it hasn't drawn blood. We'll see what comes next.
John, let's stick with presidential candidates here. Jeb Bush is in Europe right now. He gave a speech in Berlin that was pretty tough on Putin. Was he trying to curry favor with Berlin? What was his end game here? Because we know that, according to a YouGov poll, Bush is incredibly unpopular in Germany.
I don't think that Jeb Bush is ever going to be running for president of Germany anytime, and so I'm not sure he really cares that much about the German electorate. I think what he cares about is Republicans back home who are gauging his potential on the world stage as they look at him on this trip throughout Europe. And there's no place in America in the Republican Party where you can be too tough on Vladimir Putin. That's what Jeb Bush is doing. He's being critical of the Obama administration and, by implication, Hillary Clinton, and showing himself to be a tough guy on the world stage.